you want to book one?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Bill Babin, and it's an absolute pleasure and honor to be here. I'm going to talk with you about my life. It's really that simple. But we all go chasing after success, and we read all kinds of books. I don't know how many books are published every year about success, achievement, set your goals, create action steps, get an accountability partner, all of this kind of stuff. And it's good.
Starting from school.
Yeah, exactly. It's good stuff. It really is. But I want to show you what happened to me over 46 years. And if you look at the end where I am right now, I'm 70 years old. I'm an 8th degree black belt chief master instructor. And I just competed in July of this year. So, even though I'm semi-retired, I'm still quite active. And I competed for a world championship title in what's called form, and I'll show you that in just a second. And I took second place. So I took the silver medal at age 70. And so if we look at where I am right now, you'd say, he's pretty successful. And I just want to show you what happened along the way. Fail, fail, fail again. 3 big times. 3 big times. Whoops, I didn't want to go there yet. So what is failure? Give me some examples. Yes? Yeah?
You could fail on a test.
Exactly. Okay? Academic challenge. You can fail spelling. You can fail mathematics.
Failure is when you try something and you don't succeed.
Exactly. I try to throw the ball through the hoop, but it doesn't go. You can call that a failure. Sir.
Fall short of the goal.
You fall short of a goal. So there's a lot of answers. Let's take a look at these here, all right? Any sporting event, right? Any sporting event at all. Baseball, football, basketball, soccer, everything you can find tons of reasons to fail, or examples of it. Get turned down for a date. You want to go with somebody, you get turned down. Oh man, the really big one, you get turned down for marriage. That hurts. Oh my gosh. You don't get selected after you did a job interview, your dream job.
Over and over and over.
Over and over and over. You go to your boss, you got all these ideas to improve the business, and he says, get out of here, get out of here. These are some really common kinds of examples that we might call circumstances, that we might call failures. So, the whole thing today is what can you do when you fail? Several really important tips. I already talked to you about my career and failing 3 times. What I want to do now is show you what happens. This would be especially interesting to you guys right there, okay? When you're testing for black belt. Now understand, does it say it on here? Well, it doesn't actually say it on here. But the first star means 5th degree black belt. The second one means 6th. The third one means 7th. And the 4th one means 8th. So that's technically how you can tell what my rank is. And this video is what actually happens when you test for black belt. There's 3 parts. I'll explain them to you as we go along. And it's kind of fun to watch.
When the student begins in Songam Taekwondo as a white belt, his journey takes him to the destination of black belt through years of testing and earned rank elevation. Songam Taekwondo has always taken pride in publicly testing its most senior ranking members and masters. Tonight, you will see the destinations of a lifelong journey culminate in the testing of 4 7th degree black belts in their quest to achieve 8th degree black belt. Devoted to continued learning and the elevation of skills and knowledge, Songam tradition requires members of every rank to test in order to sustain the highest standards of excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the senior rank testing of 2010.
Filmed in 2010. And there I am, right there.
Base Grandmaster.
Right there.
Good.
3 parts to the test. part is called Pumse, or form. It's a memorized, you know what that is, right? Okay? It's a memorized series of movements performed against imaginary attackers. And basically, you gotta get it right. You gotta get the moves in the right order, you gotta do the fast ones fast, the slow ones slow, and you gotta turn in the right direction. When you get to this point, I'm doing about 85 movements, and it takes about 2.5 to 3 minutes. And it has to be performed with appropriate focus, concentration, and accuracy of how you execute the hand movements, how you execute the kicks, and how you stand. All different kinds of ways to stand. So this is the first part of it. On this particular night, there was only 4 people testing for 8th degree black belt. Part of a very, very special presentation in a week-long event called World Championships. There's about 12,000 people in an arena, very much like the arena that the Phoenix Suns play in. And there's this big stage, you can see the big, big stage. Those guys up there are the judges. And we went up 2 at a time to do this, only 4 of us all together. And when we finished this part of it, we went backstage and they did something else for like 10 minutes, so I got to rest a little bit, which is kind of a critical thing. And I'll come back a little bit later. Fast movements, slow movements. So I think it's my only moment on the Jumbotron. Right? I didn't even know that was happening. But got my picture up on the big screen. So this takes about 3 minutes. And that's it. And the crowd goes wild, thousands of people clapping for me. Part 2, you'll like this, I know. Giorugi, it's called sparring. It looks like fighting, all right? It looks like sparring, but it looks like fighting, but it really isn't, and it isn't even what they call point karate, which is way different from MMA. Okay, let's see, that's me right there. And so what you're supposed to do is it's all spontaneous, nothing memorized. The first part you saw is all memorized. Everybody's got to perform exactly the same things in the same order. This is completely spontaneous. You don't know what the other person's going to do, and you have to try to just respond and execute movements without hurting each other. If you hurt the other person, it's like you're out. You're doing lack of control. So, and this goes by pretty quick. It's only like 30 seconds or 45 seconds. And then you do it again. This one goes a little better. This lady knows how to kick really well. And she punches like a howitzer. So that kind of inspires inspired me to do a little bit better. Yeah, you heard the guy warning me, watch the control. Well, you know, all I can say is she's hitting me, man. And there's a little limp in there, because 6 weeks prior to this actual testing, I tore my hamstring and couldn't even walk. I didn't think I was going to be able to do this test. There are some miracle working people, physical therapists and orthopedic surgeons that are just amazing. And here comes the last part. You already saw a little bit of this. And it's Butte Pop, which is board breaking, demonstration of power and focus. Do you break boards?
Yeah, we have to do it with our fist.
Cool. Not kicking yet?
No, not kicking yet.
That's all right. It's all right. I think I did 4 different boards here. I can't remember. 1, 2, oh, there's only 3 boards. And that's it. It's over. Okay, it's 3 parts, which I'm going to go through 3 times. This is the very end. This is 2010, okay? And I'm going to go way back to 1979. So, I'm training in Tucson, and I have this most incredible, wonderful person named Rex Reeder who just introduces me while I'm in graduate school. And I start punching and kicking with him, and he's this, not really super big, but bigger than me, you know, 6'2", whatever, 220 pounds, and he's like a howitzer. I mean, he can kick unbelievable. When he kicks, you don't want to be within 20 feet. You want to be kind of back there, you know? But he would kick and then chuckle and kick and chuckle, and he's just this incredible personality. And I trained with him for like 3 years, and I had a great time as a color belt. I passed all my tests, no problems at all, broke whatever boards I had to break. And then he says, we're going to go to San Diego to test in front of the master. The master. I've met this guy a couple of times. All I know is he's an 8th degree black belt, and he's been around for a gajillion years, and he's the president of this association, international group that has 50,000 people in it. I'm going to get my first black belt from him? Anyway, I get there. The room has got about 30 people in it, and there's a whole bunch of 4th degrees in the front of it, and I'm testing for 1st degree, and there's 4th degrees here, and I felt like this big, and I might have taken some conclusions from that, but I didn't. I got out there, I did everything. I did the form, the board breaking, the sparring. I thought I did everything right. Well, this is what happened. Can you remember my face in the video you just watched? There were several really good close-ups, okay? This is me. This is me in 1979, okay? And this guy right here is that 8th degree black belt, founder of this international organization. So we were working out, punching and kicking, and he says, all right, everybody go sit down. And then he starts talking to us. And he says, Mr. Babin, come up to the front. Yes, sir. Of course, that's what you do, right? I run up there, and I'm standing like this. And I'm telling you, there couldn't be more things wrong with this posture. If you were watching what I was doing in the early video, it was just this is just terrible. And he stands right next to me, and he puts his finger on my belt like this, and he says, guys, you see this black belt? If it blows too hard, it comes right on you. At that moment, I knew I did not pass. All right? It was all over. It was all over. But the thing that is so challenging for us, and I love your examples about the test in school, you know, and in sports, is it's not over. But we tend to think when you fail that it's over. And let's go into that context. You strike out when you're at home plate, there's another chance at bat. You drop a ball when the quarterback throws it to you, there's another pass. There's another play. You know, you go up for a rebound, you miss it, and the other team gets it, there will be another rebound. But we don't see it that way. We have to be reminding ourselves that it's not over when that mistake occurs, it's not over. And you guys in school and academic life, wow, that's important. You have some trouble with math, it's not over. It isn't. And the other one I picked up is from a football context, okay? I got it from a football coach who says, you know, you make a mistake, you better have your composure card. Pull it out. Pull it out. Because you know what? We have 30 seconds to go to the next play. We're going to be in a huddle. We're going to call the next play. I got 30 seconds. If you're like in the past, I dropped the ball, I didn't pass the spelling test, I didn't pass the math test. If you're in the past, you don't have composure. If you're composed, you're breathing, you're relaxed, and you know where you're going. And that's critical to avoiding the obstacle in the future. All right, let's go to the next failure. This time, it's for 4th degree black belt. And there are 3 really big black belt tests. You saw one of them there, okay? But there are 3 big ones. The first one is the most important one, right? Hey, I'm wearing a color belt, brown, red, something or other. When did you get your black belt?
What?
When did you get your black belt?
I got it this November, actually, on the 5th.
Oh, wow, just like a month ago. Dude, congratulations, yeah. So that's the first one. But there are more, aren't there?
Yes, it goes 2nd degree, 3rd degree, 4th degree, and then once you reach 5th degree, you become a master. And then 6th degree, 7th degree, 8th degree, 9th degree.
Wow, it's amazing. We're not even really practicing the same art, okay? But the way he's describing it is very much the same as what I did, okay? And when he mentioned the word master, that's a critical point. We'll get to that in just a minute. So, but in my system, 1st degree is obviously important. It's the first time you put on black belt. 4th degree is really important because there's 9 of them, 3, 6, 9 black belts. So the first 3 are considered beginner. When you're at 4th degree, you're considered to be an intermediate black belt student. And you get to wear this right there. So it's all about uniforms, medals, patches, and everything. Everyone's distinguished in a certain way. And when you get to put that stripe down your leg, wow, boy, that's a big deal. I told myself, you know, I had messed up one testing, it wasn't going to happen again. So I set a goal, I was going to do my form 1,000 times over a year before I went to this testing. I was going to make it, man. And I also went into that testing with the knowledge that the rule said, if you don't pass, you have to wait an entire year because they only do it once a year. And by this point, I had 6 years invested in training to become a 4th degree. Already trained. The possibility of waiting an entire year was really a negative thing. So, but let's see what actually happened. I go to Little Rock, a different place. You know, you guys ever travel, go to a different city, stay in a different hotel?
Yeah? We had to go to Kalahari for the test. It's
Oh.
in Wisconsin.
Oh gosh, that's wonderful to have that experience at your age. I mean, I was like 26.
And
But
the things kids have today.
yeah, you know,
The kids in my classrooms all have tablets, and I'm like, wow, do you realize that the equivalent information that you have available to you, I had to carry 6 books around.
yeah, it would have been,
Every
yeah,
day, it's
crazy.
big.
But you know, when we travel, it affects our bodies and our emotions, our digestive systems, and everything. And when you're in a physical performance situation, those things are critical. So this time I went to Little Rock, and I spent a lot of time in Little Rock. But it was a bad night. It was a bad night. There was like 250 black belts there all testing. And they didn't really plan for this huge of a crowd. And there was just delays. And I got kicked in the eye, knocked my contact out. I'm in front of, 2,000 or 3,000 people crawling on my hands and knees looking for my contact. I never did find it. So it comes time to break boards. I'm already embarrassed because I'm crawling around on the floor. And they wheel in these carts, and I'll pass these around. You guys can take a look at these, okay? Pass them around. This isn't exactly what I had, but I didn't have a chance to get some of them. So it's actually called number 2 pine 1x12, which is basically a straight pine board. People use it for shelving and stuff like that, okay? And, and, yeah, no.
That's okay,
Yeah.
I flunked out of Taekwondo.
That's all right. So, I needed 6 of them, because I was doing 3 breaks, two boards per station. I needed 6 of them. And they roll these carts in with stacks of wood. Can you imagine how much wood is needed? We can do some math right here. Let's just round the numbers up. 200 people, not 250. And each one needs 2 boards.
Or 500. Well, if you have 250, it would be 500.
Maybe we should just let you do it. So you've got 200 people, and they each need 4 boards. That's 800 feet of lumber. That's a lot of lumber. I mean, they brought these carts in with stacks, and they yelled at us and said, yelling is a typical educational technique, at least in martial arts, right?
Yeah.
Not in the classroom.
Believe me, I didn't pay him to be here, okay? He's just being the best there is, okay?
Sure.
Lunch later, okay? So,
I have to give you a little caveat, those are all full tested, certified
Yeah.
citizens.
I'm sure they are.
Everyone.
Right. And they yell at us and say, do not pick through this pile. Grab the first boards on the top of the pile. That's it. If we see you pushing one aside, you're going to fail right then and there. Okay. I mean, they put the fear of every great spirit, every thing on the planet into your hearts. Do not pick through this pile. I go up, I pick up 6 boards, I go back, sit down. Boy, oh boy, you know. And 2 of those 6 were harder than brick. You know, because wood is either green or dry or somewhere in between. It was awful. So I sat there because of the delays for 30 minutes playing with this wood, going, how can I divide this up? How am I going to deal with this challenge? But, you know, I really didn't have a clear mind. I was scared to death because they yelled at me. I don't take that very well. I think when you, as teachers, it doesn't work very well. It doesn't open up the minds of students when you yell at them and put fear in them, you know. But that's where I was, you know. So I'm looking at these boards, and so I was going to do this. I was going to do what's called an elbow strike. Did you ever do an elbow strike?
Not onto a board, but I have done that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I've never set foot in this stuff, but I've been out with the
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a really common technique, and it's very, very good to know, okay? So I was going to do that, and I think I had a palm, and then I did this really wild and crazy thing, which I can't do anymore.
Okay.
A jump, reverse, side kick, okay? So, get right to the point. My strategy was to take the 2 hardest boards and put them together. Because I said to myself, I can break anything with an elbow strike.
Really?
I can break anything with an elbow strike. I'm going to get those 2 boards out of the way. Well, I set them up, I hit it, and you know, remember I said I got 6 years training already at this point in my career. I have never experienced as much pain as I experienced in that moment, from my head down to my toes, and all the way through my arm. Boards didn't break. Okay? Okay, remember the business about clear mind and understanding what your options are. So, okay, I get 3 tries. I could have changed the boards. The rules would have allowed me to move them around. I could have changed what I was doing. Options. And when I said no, I can break anything with an elbow strike. I hit it again. Searing pain. I mean, do you know, we're talking about a minute maybe between these strikes. This already hurts. Have you ever stubbed your toe in the middle of the night or been hit by a baseball or something, and you turn around and then you turn back around a minute later and you say, hit me again?
No.
That's what I did. I just said, hit me again. I hit it the second time, I practically fainted. It hurt so much.
I was hit by a volleyball a few months ago while subbing for PE
Oh, God. And you stood right up and said, do it again. No, you didn't. You didn't.
No, I just had an MRI for it.
So I go back again, try number 3. I hit it the 3rd time, I break it. I go through the board, I lose my balance. I'm like, and I go try to do the other technique. I miss both of those techniques. It's failure. Failure number 2. Once again, in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. Okay. Now here's the interesting thing. Okay. What does it say there? Redemption. I don't know how to figure this out, but I'm just going to say that there may be a part of you that leads to success that's called faith. And I'm not necessarily placing it in a religious context, but I have no explanation for what happened, except that somebody helped me that I had no idea was going to help me. And I think if you learn to cultivate that kind of hope, that kind of faith, it can really contribute to your attitude to keep moving forward. Well, the big president, he comes up to me that night at the party, and he says, let's see, this was in June. He says, look, I want you to come to the tournament. There's 3 big events, fall, spring, and world championships in June. I want you to come to the tournament in October and test again. All I knew was the rules said you have to wait a year. And here he is, the boss of bosses of bosses, comes to me and says, I want you to just come in and test. I'm going, yes, sir. That's all you do. You just say, yes, sir. You just say it. You don't ask, well, I thought the rule was this. All right? You don't do that. And so that's redemption. I got no idea where it came from. I went to the tournament in November, passed with flying colors, got my 4th degree black belt, got my stripe on my pant leg. But that was second failure, okay? So, we got some summaries here. Remember, it's not over. Failure doesn't mean it's over. Make sure you have your composure card. I don't think I own one of those. I don't think I do. We'll have a little bit of a secret to that. Breathe, think, relax. I had 30 minutes to fool with the boards, to think about changing the technique. There were options that I didn't use because I didn't have a clear head. Okay, so moving on now, testing for 6th degree black belt the 3rd time. This is the 3rd big one. Because, as you said, what's your name, buddy?
I am Jax.
Jackson?
Jax, J-A-X.
Oh, right, that's cool. J-A-X, Jax.
I think there's a Star Trek character named the same.
There is, yes. Actually, she's some kind of special.
Actually, I think she was Dax, not Jax.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
She was in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. There's also a wonderful beer that doesn't exist anymore. That came out of New Orleans, Louisiana, my hometown, called Jack's Brewery. But anyway, so I did well. I became a 5th degree black belt, and then five years later, I was ready to go for 6th. And when you become a 6th degree, Jack said when you became a 5th degree, you could become a master. Well, in my style, you have to be a 6th degree to become a master. It's a separate application process, but it's a big, big deal. It's like a PhD rank in the academic life, okay? And so this is clearly important. I'm thinking, I really want to be Master Babin. There's no question about that. So, and for the previous 5 years, remember now I've got 5 and 4 is 9, 8 is 12. I have like 15 years of training to go for this testing here at 6th degree, okay? And what did I want? Well, I felt like I deserved the opportunity to be up in front of 12,000 people on a stage and for everybody to watch. I'm in a group of 6 people out of 250 that are testing for the highest rank. So I don't really want to be in some ballroom with a bunch of hundreds of people, black belts, 1st degrees and 2nd degrees. And for the previous 5 years, they had taken those people who were testing and put them up on a stage like you saw in the video. And I said, wow, I was really excited. I get to do that. I get to do that. Well, I get there, and of course, you got to be careful about your assumptions. And of course, they changed everything. So it's not going to be a special experience for me. I'm out there in the black belt masters. There's 6 of us testing, but there's, 240 in the same room. No stage, and I'm going for the big one, to become a master. Well, it's amazing how these things work out. So, I had a bad attitude from the very beginning. Attitude. Wow. Does your instructor talk about that?
Yeah.
I love it. That's because it's true, okay? And even though you're not doing Taekwondo, those principles apply everywhere, okay? So, I didn't have a good attitude. I got out there, I just screwed up because I didn't have a good attitude. Didn't matter how hard I trained, didn't matter. And I missed my boards, and everything went out. When that happened, there was 5 of us, 6 of us. I felt like my 5 friends, these are people I've been with for like 30 years now. We've been training and competing together. They got on the train and it left the station and I was still standing on the platform. I missed the train because again, the rules said, well, I'm testing for 6th degree, you gotta come back next year. Oh, gosh, I was wishing for all these things, I did set a goal, but I really wasn't quiet, and I certainly didn't relax and let the universe deliver. I certainly didn't do that. So what actually happens, this is the last kind of long story, okay? The master comes to me and says, hey, look, we're gonna fix this. Again, how is this possible that this guy's being so kind to me? I want you to come to the instructor seminar in 6 weeks, come back to Little Rock, and you're gonna test again. It's like, sir, I have no explanation for it, except a hopeful attitude, which I didn't really have. And so the way the seminar worked is you went there and you trained for 5 days, and on Saturday morning they always had a testing, like the one you saw, but a little bit smaller. Only 150 people in the seminar and a small room like in a conference center. And so I'm sitting there on Friday night, and one of the leaders comes up to me and says, Mr. Babin, you ready to test? Yes, sir! Because that's what you say. And he says, good. Go back to your room, get yourself ready, and come back here in 30 minutes. Tonight, sir? Yes, tonight. Yes, sir. Run back. Come back in 20 minutes. When I get back, this is a conference center out in the woods. It's a 4-H center outside of Little Rock. So they have a big room that is a multi-purpose room. It serves as a cafeteria and also a stage there. And so when I get back, they had moved all the tables. Everybody had finished eating. They rolled the tables off to the side. I walk in, and everybody's sitting around the edge, 150 people. They're all in their casual workout wear, not dressed like this. This is what you must wear to test. And I walk in, I'm going, oh, what is going on? What is going on? And there's a table up on the stage. There's no tablecloth on it. I gotta tell you, okay, this man, Hang on the Lee, is a man of protocol. He's very much a Korean native, although he became an American citizen in 1969. Nevertheless, okay? And one of the things was certain ways you dress, certain things you say, and you have different clothes for different events. And when you have a table, you always have a tablecloth on it. The people in the audience are not supposed to look underneath the table and see your legs. There's supposed to be no distractions whatsoever. I walk in and there's this table there with 4 chairs, no tablecloth. I mean, this cannot be a testing. So I very quickly find out that this is what's happening. I'm the only one testing for 6th degree at this moment. There was 6 of us, and there were other people eligible. I'm the only one, and it's happening on Friday night, not Saturday morning. Well, anyway, I get up there and I do my thing, and it goes really well. There's one little detail, okay? You know, in the video I showed you earlier, the form, right? So, let me do this for you here just real quick. It's kind of short. Wow, look at that side kick. Wow, that was a really good front kick. Here comes another side kick. Let's see how he does. Alright, I did that like that because those words, those comments I was making, he did that to me. I'm sitting in front of 150 instructors by myself, testing for 6th degree black belt. I start doing it like I did just there. I do 15 moves. He goes, wow, that's a pretty good front kick. You need to understand that this never, ever happens. There's no judge ever making a Howard Cosell or Troy Aikman type comment to the audience. It's just not at all like that. And he started, I didn't know, I thought I should stop and say, thank you, sir, and then turn and continue. I had no idea. I decided not to do that. I just kept going, and he just kept on talking. It was like, it was just beyond special that he treated me like that, you know? So, it was a totally special event just for me. And isn't that what I wanted? I went in and I was upset because I didn't get treated special and then I got what I wanted. So, what did I learn from that one? 3 failures and I end up 8th degree black belt today. Stop making assumptions, express your desire, your goal, relax, let the universe deliver, never stop dreaming big. So here I am. Here I am. This is 1998. This is me. And the guy that I showed you at the beginning when I was standing there like this is me and him as I'm becoming a master instructor in 1998. And then here I am with my lovely wife. This is 2004 when I became a senior master. The uniform changes color, and this is the formal master uniform. And then here I am, 2011, with the red uniform of the chief master. And so, you know, I passed my test for 7th degree, I passed my test for 8th degree. You know, when you look back at the whole thing, wow, man, that guy really messed up a whole bunch. Remember, it's not over, it's never over. Make sure you have your composure card. Know what composure is, be able to breathe and relax. Think what your options are. Careful about your assumptions. Express your desire and goal. Make it concrete. Put a date on it. All those things they talk about in the success classes. Create action steps. But this one right here, get a coach and keep them close. You know, when we're young, we have teachers all the time. Even when we're in college, we've got professors that are really coaches in many ways. And I'm not necessarily saying you should hire a life coach, but you probably have a good friend that you can call on. And you say, well, hey, this is what happened. What do you think? Can you help me? Maybe your spouse, but maybe your spouse is too close. You maybe need somebody a little bit further off. But get some kind of a coach. And never stop dreaming big because you ran into an obstacle. Right? This is me in 2011. This all took place in a place called Red Rocks Canyon outside of Las Vegas. It's such a beautiful natural area. We go out there and kick and punch and train. So, don't worry about failure. Don't worry about speed bumps. Just keep going. Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here today. Questions?
You guys have any questions?
My comment was going to be about expressing your desire. That is a very strong point too, because in years in management, I have employees, and I try to be open, you know. But sometimes it would take them forever to say they want to be something, and in many cases was totally doable. But if you don't ask, it's the fear of getting a no
Yes.
that stops many of us, you know? And what happens if we do it? Like you say, we try again, right?
Yeah.
We keep at it.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Thank you for this.
My pleasure, but I think your point is really well made, because I have a thing that I say about leadership, and people tend to think that leadership is, well, it's the person who owns the company, it's the manager, the regional director, whatever, you know. I don't believe that at all. Everyone has responsibility of leadership in all kinds of areas, and the most important thing is what you were just touching on, which is to encourage other people. You know, wake up in the morning, how can I uplift someone today?
I have to do it for about 150 kids every day.
It's wonderful, you know? It's wonderful. But you know, you don't have to be a teacher to uplift people. You can...
Just talking to a friend.
Exactly, you know? It's this idea of kindness and love. I don't know. It's kind of trite, but I still believe that. So, thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Yes, Jax, what's up?
When you're testing for another degree, like when you're going from 3rd degree to 4th degree,
Mhm.
do you have to wait 4 years?
Bingo, you got the math right there. Yeah, it's the same thing in your system?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're a 2nd degree, you gotta wait 2 years, 3rd degree, you gotta wait 3 years, 4th degree, so, like I said, by the time I got to testing for 6th, it was 5, and 4 is 9, and 3 is 12, I think it's 13, yeah, of training, yeah. And then when you're in 8th degree, it's like, well, at least 8 years. It's a long time. Y'all have a great day, okay? Cheers.
Check it.
Really good to see you.
Okay, now,
Thank you very much.
all right, so,
Thank you, my friend. I'm not sure why it says Merry Christmas, but it says Merry Christmas. I don't know.
you get a glass of water, it's the desert, you don't want it to hydrate, you can hydrate, and then you decide to go to the next hour for lunch. How about that? Okay, come on, it's your show. So let's get a little drink of water.
Fun.
Yeah.
Tennis or swimming or some basketball. I couldn't do a layup for the life of me, but for some reason I was a half-court paint. But I was never into competition. I was never into this whole hierarchical, yes sir,
Right.
valuing people, all that sort of stuff. It's like, this just never rubbed me the right way.
Well, to each his own, you know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't, you know, all kinds of ways to be leaders, all kinds of ways to spread kindness and compassion, you know.
But even in the classroom, like, because when I deal with the administration in school, the administrators are often very authoritarian types. They literally are on the students, sometimes even screaming at students. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to
Yeah.
get on a student's good side by screaming at them,
Yeah.
threatening them with, various kinds of punishment,
Yeah.
et cetera. Especially the last, I go to different districts and I'm at a different school mostly every day. And this last school, this principal was just, I was like, wow, you are really just overblowing your authority with these children. They actually tell me that they know you.
What age
They're
group?
constantly.
What age group?
8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You betcha.
I'm like, the point of your job is not to cause students to hate you.
Yeah, you know,
Like, wow.
I mean,
People really have an overblown sense of self-importance when they get these jobs.
yeah, there's,
But there's only a limited things that I can say, because with a snap of the finger, I can be able to. It's not like I'm, it's not like the substitute teaching is doing much more than barely keeping me off the street.
yeah, yeah.
My father and my oldest brother were professional boxers.
Oh, yeah?
My dad was like, rated one time, remember, people
I
know
did
like
perfect.
boxing.
I was so excited. No technical glitches whatsoever,
I
man.
thought I was pretty good with about that piece of that. Sorry, we couldn't speed things up for